remember very well how I first heard about Denise, because actually I was following one of her students, Julia, who is a postpartum doula. So we have not exactly similar, but we have kind of similar interests about birth and about babies. And I followed Julia on Facebook, and then she had an interview with Denise where they talked about Denise, I think, preparing for her third child, it was, or maybe it was her experiences from having 3 kids and the business. Anyway, that was when I first learned about what Denise does, and was hooked right away. And ever since, I get her newsletters weekly, and then in December I decided to join bootcamp. Before I joined bootcamp, what I felt about money was that I had never really taken care of it. In a way, trusted others to solve money problems for me. And in terms of my business, I was very reluctant to even call it a business instead of a hobby. So money was not involved in that business, kind of, from the way I talked and from the way I acted also. And so the best days were when I didn't have to think about money. The blocks I had around money and business were really, I think, not very extraordinary. I think a lot of people have them. One of them is simply this thing: if I'm happy, if I enjoy doing what I do, I can't earn money, because money has to be earned the hard way. So that is one of the things. The other one is, of course, I had a part-time job at the time. So that was kind of the job, and everything I earned extra was a compensation for something I anyway would have done. So that made it hard to talk of my self-employed business as a business. And then of course ever since we had children, I earned less money than my husband. Before, it was actually the other way around, but that changed. So it was always, it always seemed that he was the one bringing the money home, and whenever I earned something, it was a nice extra. So, holiday money that you would be able to do without. I do remember that before I joined, I wrote some email as a response to the newsletter, to which Denise replied. And I was so positively taken back by her answer that I somehow thought that, okay, if she's able to do so much for me with one email, what can she do for me if I'm in the program? So I actually don't remember what the email was about, but I really remember that this made a difference for me. Yeah. The fears I had when joining were, of course, that what if it doesn't help me? Like, what if it's not worth it? And the other fear was, what if my partner finds out I spend money on something that he finds bullshit? So to get rid of that fear, what I did was to jump right in and really work. Like, on the day the lessons were released, I worked through them, and to not only do it by myself, but to really post whatever I had in my mind, to post it in the Facebook group, because that I noticed very quickly that the content is very, very helpful, but the support we get in the Facebook group is equally valuable. And I was really, really happy to see that, first of all, I'm not the only one having those problems. Secondly, I'm not the only one who's not a native English speaker in there, and still there's people telling their stories, and it doesn't matter that we're not perfect. And so when those 2 weeks, yeah, I think it was 2 weeks, right? This time that I could have bounced out, yeah. So when those 2 weeks came close, I wasn't even on the edge of dropping out, because I knew for sure that this is going to help me so much. Denise speaks Australian English in a very, very understandable way. Like compared to other people who speak Australian English, Denise is a very easy person to follow when she talks. From the way she talks, from her talking speed, it's really easy. And then, of course, what helped, or what does help, is when you have stuff written down. So there is transcripts for all the videos, and the English transcripts are a good way to look something up when you don't get it right away. The German transcripts, I have to say, well, you notice that they're done with artificial intelligence. Yes, but it's still, well, it helps to understand, but I don't read them anymore, because now they're going more on my nerves than that they would help. But apart from the course material, I also found the Facebook group very supportive. Like sometimes I post something and then I write in brackets like, is this even English? Because I'm trying to translate some word that I have no idea whether this actually exists. And it helps, first of all, it helps a lot that people comment back like, yeah, I have never heard, but I still understand what you're trying to say. And secondly, it is really an international community. And when I read posts from people speaking French or Italian or whatever, Spanish, I don't feel like it matters. Like, of course they have their own cultural surrounding, but still the fact that they are not native English speakers doesn't matter for the group to cheer on them or to support them. And I really like that. The way I'm feeling about money in my business now is, first of all, I call it business, which is great. And secondly, it does make money, and it does make money every month, and it's getting more and more. And what really, really helped me was the tracking, the bootcamp tracking sheet, the Excel sheet. Because I started to notice how much money inflow there actually is, which I had never noticed before. And money is not something I shy away from anymore. So there's no weekday when I'm not looking at my finances, not because I would have to worry about them, but because I enjoy looking at them. I enjoy seeing the development, and this is so much help. And I enjoy planning now what I can spend my money on and how much in and outflow there will be. And of course, there's no guarantee, and there's no it's a different way of planning with money than if you have a job where you get paid regularly. But still, it has become a joyful part of my life. And I notice that this has changed the way we talk about money in the family as well. Yeah, we're talking about taxes, we're talking about pocket money, we're talking about how much we are spending on our holidays and on Christmas gifts. Also with the kids, not only with my husband, and that is really, really helpful. I think my top 3 wins are, first of all, that I have gone more public. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with being public, which results also in a growing newsletter list that has doubled within the last year. And I'm very grateful for that. The second win was really to spend money on a 5-star hotel for our family holiday. Because again, it was this feeling, okay, will it be worth it or not? And yes, it was totally worth it. And not only for me, but all the 5 of us enjoyed it very much. And then, of course, the monthly money inflow that got stable on a very much higher level than before is really amazing. And now we're not even on half of December, and I already know that this will be the best month of the year, and there's no reason to believe that next year will be any different. And like, it will be different because it will be more. Denise as a teacher is invaluable. The way she's always around in the group, the way she includes us in her own journey instead of being a guru that will be perfect and have their stupid little students. Denise as a teacher is so authentic that there's no reason to believe that she's telling us something just to make money. But whatever she says, she believes. And this is freaking amazing. I mean, it's so inspiring to see that she has little kids, she has a husband, she has done the work, and it's very motivating to do the work myself when I know that she did it herself as well. And in that sense, the videos are great, but like the content is great. But one of the things why I enjoyed watching them was the way Denise was herself in the videos and not trying to be an actor. I mean, she could have just paid an actor to, you know, do the videos for her. But she's very authentic. The course material is full of aha moments, in the sense that you think, this is so clear, this is so obvious, why haven't I done that before? And on the one hand, that sparks little moments of frustration, because you think, why haven't I incorporated that already? And on the other hand, that makes it really easy to get used to those ideas, because they're formulated so clearly. And it's so helpful that whenever you sign up and you get the email reminder that the new lesson can be watched now, it says that, by the way, there's no shame in not doing it. And by the way, if you can't do it now, just do it later, and don't get frustrated. And you can really feel that this is not something you have to do for someone else, but you do it for yourself. And because you do it for yourself, you do it in your own rhythm, you do it when you have time, and you do it in the way that feels comfortable for you. I mean, there's people in bootcamp that only do the course material, that have never posted in the Facebook group. And that's just as valid as the other way around, as, you know, just being in the Facebook group and not having ever watched a single video. And neither is better than the other, but you choose whatever feels good for you or right for you at that moment. And of course, it's a nice feeling to, you know, work through it, and then you can say, I worked through it, now I'm done. And of course, that's not true, because you're never done. But the point is, the course material is fun. It really is fun. Like, whatever pictures and whatever. I remember this one picture about tapping, and was it Ryan Gosling or whatever? Yeah, right. Where you just had a picture of him with the tapping points, and I was like, this is so much better than just a comic person or whatever. And that kind of funny little moments, there's a lot of them, and I love that because it shows that the course material is designed in a way that you can enjoy working through it instead of being annoyed by it. That's also, by the way, concerning layout and the way you can handle it. It's easy to handle, whether on laptop or printed out, and that helps a lot. Probably it's the one about divide, like listing our lives into business class, first class, and so on, because that one, it's a list, it's a list. So you fill out the list, and then if you do the list half a year later, it's very easy to compare, because it's basically numbers. So you can very easily see improvements. Of course, it doesn't tell the whole story, but still, yeah, I think that's probably my favorite. Well, my advice for someone who's not sure whether to join Money Bootcamp or whether it's the right time. First of all, if you have questions, really reply to the newsletters, because you will get an answer. And also, it might be that it's not the right time. So, I mean, I was in the newsletter for I don't know how long before I finally joined. And before joining, I took a lot out of the newsletters. And then at some point, it was my time to join. And I think that's with everyone that I've talked about bootcamp with. It's you need some time to get used to those ideas, and at some point you know that, okay, now I've gotten everything out of listening to the podcast or reading the blog. Now I want this community, and then you join. Why it is important to work on our money mindsets? Basically because patriarchy has been telling us for 5,000 years not to care about money. And yeah, I mean, money mindset will change. Working on your money mindset will not only change your money inflow, but it will change how you perceive structures, how you perceive your family life, how you perceive and how you value your own time and your habits. And I really think that working on the money mindset is a proxy for working on very many aspects of our lives. And of course, it doesn't make the world a better place if more people with good intentions have more money. Money mindset, when it comes around giving birth, is very much founded on this patriarchic idea. I have to say, well, I'm working in Germany, so most of my clients are entitled to going to the hospital for free, being treated for free, because it's all taken care of by our insurance system. So that's different from other countries, of course. And still, midwives were paid very poorly traditionally. Sometimes even just walking from village to village and working in exchange for food and shelter. And I'm not a midwife, but this kind of feeling about birthing is still very prominent. It doesn't feel right for women to spend a lot on giving birth. It does feel right to spend on your baby, on your children, but on birthing itself, it seems that it's not worth it. First of all, of course, because the main goal is simply to have the baby alive, and the process there is not that important, or it's not perceived as that important. Secondly, it's such a short time compared to the child's life. And thirdly, of course, it's women spending money on themselves rather than spending on their family, which is more okay. And if they don't have own earnings, they have to ask their husband for money, which is still something different to ask for money for their common child or for the woman alone. So what I have noticed very much is that whether you ask a doula or someone who's not, or lactation practitioner, someone who's not covered by the normal insurance, they all have this problem that they would have enough work, but people are not very willing to pay for them. I'm not sure whether it's a German thing or just a family thing, but I have the feeling that people shy away from talking about money. And then, of course, in our family, we have this funny constellation that I am from the former western part of Germany and my husband is from the former eastern part of Germany. So my parents and his parents have a totally, completely different experience with how to handle money and how much something should cost in comparison to what you earn and so on. And well, our grandmothers had 3 to 4 currencies in their lives. So that also does something about how you value money. And I still think that Germans use a lot more actual coins and bills instead of their credit cards, because it feels more real when you have something in your hand and give it away and get something in exchange than just doing it online. So when I have customers, almost none of them uses Stripe, for instance, because they don't have a credit card. So they want a normal receipt and I send it to them and then they wire the money and, very traditional. It's slowly changing. More and more people also use PayPal, for instance, but still it's compared to other countries, also in Europe, not only the US or Australia, also in Europe, Germans seem very careful about money. What is next for me? We're recording this in the second week of December, meaning that I still have one own child's birthday and 2 other kiddie birthdays before Christmas. And then there's Christmas. So it's so amazing for me that I can just say from the middle of December, I won't do anything for my job because I'll only have the holidays. And this is awesome, just being able to do this. And then in January, I've already planned a workshop that I'll attend for a weekend to get the new advertising strategy ready for next year. And then there's going to be a big step for me. It's very German. We have this system that is called Kleinunternehmer or Kleinunternehmerin, which basically means if you earn less than 22,500 euros in a year, you're not obliged to add a tax, a VAT to your services. And when you jump over that, you have to become a normal entrepreneur and pay that VAT and, get it from your customers and pay it to the state. And that's going to happen for me. So yeah, I got ready, I got everything in order from my bookkeeping side, and now I'm just waiting for the final confirmation from the tax office. And yeah, then I'll be a real entrepreneur. Even if Denise is not there, there's so many helpful people. The other boot campers, but also the community team is awesome. And it sometimes feels when you post something in the group and there's not a direct response, if you're like, oh no, now I posted something that no one is interested in. But then the community team chimes in and it's a good day again. So that really does make a difference. So thank you very much for your work.
If you're looking for expert training on money mindset, a supportive community, and mentoring to work on your money stories, I invite you to come work with us in Money Bootcamp. Our community is growing every day, and when empowered people come together and take control of our financial destiny, we really can change lives. Come and join us on this journey. Just click below, take a deep breath, and enroll in Money Bootcamp today. You'll get our amazing money mindset training, ongoing mentoring, and access to our beautiful, inspiring community. So then you can have the encouragement and accountability to make a breakthrough with your money. And you'll get support from all of our experienced mentors and live group coaching calls with me every single month. We will be with you every step of the way to help you create more abundance with less stress. So click below, take a deep breath, and just hit join on your registration. Make this investment in your dreams and get started now so you can release your money blocks, increase your income, and surround yourself with amazing people invested in your success. I'll see you in Money Bootcamp. It's your time and you're ready for the next step.